Coming from Screen Rant again, John, and it's Marvel may need Hercules for Thor 4. Now, it's not the Hercules that you know.
Stephen, could you imagine doing a show as a Scouser? Marvel may need Hercules for Thor 4.
Do you mean a Harry Enfield Scouser?
Thor. Because of Ragnarok. If people thought we were difficult to understand, then, man, I love the Scouts. I love them. Great people.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Amazing city.
Yeah.
Buff the Beatles, man.
I like 4 of them, yeah. But anyway, Fab 4. I'm going to read this little bit, John. It's maybe about 3 or 4 paragraphs, but kind of builds up for where this sort of story's going here, and then I'll ask you for your thoughts. So just bear with me here anyway. Because of the events,
you,
I think we're just underneath the there. Because it's amazing. Because of the events that unfolded in Thor Ragnarok, Marvel may need to introduce Hercules and the Greek Pythonian into the MCU. Did I say that right? And Thor: Love and Thunder, and the third installment in the Thor franchise, Pantheon. What did I say?
I'm not sure.
Asgard
I was in my own planet.
Asgard was destroyed, and untold number of gods lost their lives in the battle against Odin's long lost daughter Hela, played by Cate Blanchett. Yeah, over the years, the Thor movies have given the Marvel Cinematic Universe a long list of characters tied to Thor's corner of the Marvel Universe in the comic books. Ragnarok alone introduced audience to the Executioner, Valkyrie, Hela, the Fenris Wolf, and Surtur. Even more could join the fold in the 4th film, Thor: Love and Thunder, for instance, a relatively new addition to Thor comics. Gorr the God Butcher will be brought to life on the big screen in the movie.
Is that confirmed?
Apparently. There's no official word on what other new heroes and villains will be appearing, but there's also no shortage of rumours regarding who Thor 4 might feature. Some suspect that Thor's next adventure will, with Jane Foster, played by Natalie Portman, Lady Sif, Jamie Alexander, and Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson, could incorporate key characters such as Beta Ray Bill, Enchantress, Balder the Brave,
Beta Ray Bill's a sort of Taurus sort of shapeshifter, isn't he?
Yeah, apparently.
So.
And Hercules, well, you were saying, is that Christian Bale's character?
Christian Bale could potentially be Gorr the God Butcher or Bill. What is it? Beta Ray Bill?
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill, yes.
Billy Ray Cyrus. And these are all characters who have been missing from these are all characters who have been missing, that sounds terrible, from Thor's world in the MCU. Chief among them is Hercules, who is without a doubt the most important Avenger that hasn't been adapted yet. Interesting. And in Marvel Comics, Hercules is a fun-loving demigod who enjoys brawling with villains and his fellow superheroes. Along with Thor and Hulk, Hercules is one of Marvel's strongest characters. He's someone fans have wanted to see in MCU for a long time now, and that time may finally be right for him. John, do you know something? After reading this, he's too much like Thor by the sound of things. I think Feige and the team are going to wait till Chris Hemsworth.
Do my Harrison Ford pointing there.
Chris Hemsworth's
you find him
hanging up that red cape, and obviously everything else that's attached to him, and then maybe introduce this character as a sort of carrying the baton. That's the way I see it anyway.
Stephen, I think you're right. There's not enough room in this Marvel Cinematic Universe for 2 people like this, 2 very strong characters from a similar...
What have they done to Hulk?
Pantheon? I don't know how you... What does it mean, a Pantheon?
Yeah, Pantheon, yeah.
A similar Pantheon. There's not enough room for them. So I think you're right. I think Thor will ultimately have to conclude his arc in the MCU before we see Hercules. Hercules! I'm going to get out of the way just now because I can't help myself.
I thought you would have done it earlier.
How dare you touch Hercules? I was out in the water having a swim. I am Hercules. Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a terrible impersonation, but I tell you what, wow.
It's a terrible film.
It was.
Hercules in New York.
That's precisely the kind of Hercules we don't want to see in the MCU, but I tell you what, Steve, I'm excited about Gorr the God Butcher, man. This character's tremendous. Not in terms of, not just even the character, visually. Such a cool looking guy. I'll bring this back up very briefly, man. Look at that.
Yes, please.
Fantastic, isn't it? I can't even get it to work. Look at that, man. How cool is this guy? He's got a sword. He's got sort of things attaching to his muscles. He's pale as hell. He looks like a Promethean, like we look sometimes on this show. And look at him. He's going toe-to-toe with Thor, and he's holding his own. This guy is so interesting, man.
Yeah.
So I hope to hell Christian Bale's playing him. It's been heavily hinted he would be. Would it be CGI? I'm going off on a sidetrack here, not even remotely speaking about Hercules, but could it be CGI? Could he be doing a more practical performance? If it's CGI, it'd probably marry more with what Christian Bale would want. He would want to have the minimal amount of sort of performance, because he's a busy guy. He wants to go off and do more serious stories. But at the same time, I want to see this guy on set. Sort of, he's going to be on set. He's going to be acting. You've seen it with Salvation. The passion this guy has. The DP walking in front of him during the take with wheels, and I'm absolutely destroying him. He became a meme, or a meme, whatever you want to call it. After that, but I agreed with him, man. It was like John Lennon during Imagine. You do not interrupt an artist when he's performing. It's bad manners, man.
Changing tape reels, yeah.
Yeah, and the director of photography, the cinematographer, should know better. He's the guy supposed to be capturing the magic of a Christian Bale performance. Get out of there, you shithead, man. So I hope Christian's playing him, man. And that just takes me off on a sort of tangent again. Christian Bale, man, playing a villain in the MCU. Jesus Christ.
Doesn't
get any better than that, does it? Just an Oscar-winning actor. Tremendous. He is an
Oscar-winning
actor,
it's
isn't he?
really, you know...
Is he? I have to look at that.
He should be.
Surely yes, man. He must be.
Did he not get one in the Mark...
The Fighter.
The Wahlberg film,
The Fighter. Amazing.
Yeah, he was amazing,
Jesus.
yeah. John, I can't really add too much to it other than what you said, but
Hercules,
one of the things in regards to the film Thor, Love and Thunder, that doesn't sound right. I don't know why. I thought it wasn't.
Sounds like an 80s sort of Kiss album.
Yeah.
And the artwork looked like an 80s Kiss album.
Do you remember when this was announced, the sort of negativity that was going along with this announcement, John? That we were getting Natalie Portman coming back playing a...
the Mighty Four.
The Mighty Four, yeah. That logo as well.
I love that logo.
You liked it. It kind of reeked of Masters of the Universe for me. Just there was a lot of things that people weren't liking, you know. But ever since the announcement, everything's been so positive, and I think, you know, appointments like what's your man?
Taika?
Not Taika, Christian Bale. You know, coming into this film, which was a big surprise. I thought he was done with comic book films after the Dark Knight trilogy. Hercules introduction, I think it might be a stretch, John. I don't see them introducing this character too soon, to be honest with you. I think he's too similar to Thor. I don't think at this point Thor really needs assistance in any fashion or anything like that. I think they're keeping him sort of up the sleeve at the moment until Chris Hemsworth's contract runs down, and then whether or not he wants to continue on in the MCU, I don't know if he will. I honestly don't think he will. I think eventually he will go the same way as Chris Evans. But what's your thoughts on that as well, John? Do you think Chris Hemsworth will stick around long enough?
I think he's got a new contract, Stephen. I don't know how long it is, maybe 3-4 movies or something, so he'll probably stay around for an Guardians of the Galaxy movie, maybe one more sort of ensemble movie.
John, I think we're going to get a Thor 5 and that'll be it. I think that'll be
Stephen's getting on in years as well, Chris. He's still in amazing shape, but he's late 30s now, so that's not old, is it?
Well, he's committed a lot of his career. How long are we talking now?
10 years.
10 years of you know, playing this character, you know, and I think he's coming to the point where he can't really take it any further. You know, I think we'll get this film. I'm looking forward to it. I think the 5th film will probably be the sort of end of his story arc. I think we will get an appearance in some form of Avengers film as well. That would probably be the other one. But you know, he's been such a prominent figure in the MCU over the last 12-13 years. And I The Dark World's not my favourite film. I'll be honest, it's not my favourite MCU film. It's probably maybe below The Incredible Hulk.
Was that when Idris got killed, or was that Ragnarok, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was such a dour film, and I'm glad they changed direction. But we'll just have to wait and see. I don't. My honest thought is that I don't think we're seeing Hercules yet. I think it's too soon.
Well, I tell you what, they're going to have to change the suit if he does come in, because that suit is just. Let's bring it up very briefly before we move on here, because to be quite frank with you, it's too skimpy. It's way too skimpy. It's concerningly skimpy. So no, we're going to have to change the suit.
But a lot of people would like that, John. I think.
Yeah, it depends on who they cast. I could see Channing Tatum playing a kind of role like that. Yeah, absolutely. If you can't get Gambit off the ground, then maybe come in and play Hercules. There you go.
Yeah, but there could be an outcry as well. I mean, horses for courses and all that.
Let's make Hercules female.
Well, as long as they don't dress them like that.
Bring in
because
Gina Carano.
that would be, oh jeez, oh yeah. It's got to build. Yeah. But anyway, John, we will.
She's bigger than me, man.
Yeah, she's solid, absolutely solid. Is she not a WWE wrestler?
She was once a UFC.
Yeah.
fighter.
Oh, right. Ultimate. Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mess with her. Jeez, oh no.
Destroy.
She would snap me in two.
Yeah.
But we'll move on, John, to